Yes, guys, Suki from BTS TV Beyond the Stage, and this is the first episode of Beyond the Bikini with my co-hosts, IFBB pros, Kerry and Marnie. And today is a very special guest. She made a huge announcement last night. I'm not going to go into it. I'm going to let her go into it. We got Angela Teixeira, two-time Olympia champion, multiple pro wins, which I don't think I'll have time to get through because we spent enough time trying to get this to work.
Yes.
Angelica, look, I know the girls got loads of questions, so I just want to start this off and first ask, why now? Why have you made the decision that come the Arnold 2025, that is going to be the finale, the last show?
Yes. First of all, thank you for having me here and to talk to your audience, talk to you guys. And it's very special. And thank to everyone listening. This is the right time for me because honestly, I have done everything in my journey that I wanted. When I decided to take a break to have babies, in my mind, I was like, I don't know if this is the end or not. So there was still that question mark in my head. And after having babies, I felt that I needed to come back, like for many reasons, like the biggest reason, like I said in my video yesterday, was because I wanted my babies to be part of this amazing journey because they already love when they see, like this wall, my bikini, my medals, my trophies, they look and their eyes, like it's bright, it shines, and they're like, oh, mom, oh, bikini. And then, I know they already love my journey. And I didn't want them to look at this like, oh, look what my mom did. But as soon as we were born, we kind of like stopped her career. I wanted them to feel like they were part of it. So that was the biggest reason of my comeback. And, and also, of course, like having two back-to-back babies and then coming back just 1 year after having babies. I'm like, if I do this, I know I have inspired so many women, so many young girls, like all ages, like not just women, but also like like men, like people in general. So I'm like, if I come back now, I think I'm gonna inspire in another level, like like some moms that want to get in shape, some girls that were competing, but they had to stop for some reason, not just like babies, but some reason. And then they wanted to come back, but they think like, oh, it's too hard, it's too far away from me now, like I'm not in shape, it's gonna take me a while. I'm like, if I come back, I'll prove to all of them that everything is possible. So I did. I came back. My babies are part of this now, like they were there with me, twice, and we have pictures. So I'm like, okay, this was the main goal. It's done. And then the amount of girls that I have inspired, like the amount of women they still reaching out to me. I'm like, okay, that is the goal too, So I'm like, so now what's left? What's the goal? And honestly, there's nothing more that, I feel in my heart that I want to accomplish, with the career, like with competing. I have like my legacy is not the titles, that I have achieved, but the girls that I have inspired, like the girls that started because of me, that didn't give up because of me. And I feel that I don't want to be competing with them now, but I want to be watching their success. I want them to shine for me because if I have inspired them, I'll be on that stage with them. So, like I feel that we need to know the time to stop. And my time is now. I have won titles, I have inspired, people. And now it's my time to sit back, help, like woman to get in shape, and like just lifestyle. I have been coaching a lot. Since 2019 was when I started, but now even more. And I think like as I retired, I'll be able to coach even more. It's something that I love, like to help women get in shape, just regular and also for competition, right? So for the bikini division now with the fit model division, I think it's something that really fits my coaching lifestyle because I'm that type that I want to look like health in the first place, like it's a priority for me, as a competitor and also as a coach because being a competitor for so many years and then being a mom, I know how important it is to keep your health in the first place, throughout this journey. So that's the reason.
I can really sense your like how like it must have been a very, very hard decision still to make. But I can really sense like how much peace it kind of feels like it's given you.
Yes.
And I definitely want to say that what you have done in coming back post having two children definitely inspires me because this is something I want to do myself. So I know that it will be like so inspirational to many people, and I think that is amazing.
Yeah, yeah, that's one of the reasons too, because I always felt this, like many women in the sport, they're afraid to take a break and have kids
Yeah.
because they're afraid of what's gonna happen. Like I'm gonna ruin my physique, my career will be over. And then us as a woman, we have a timeline, like if we don't have kids at that time, it's gonna pass, and then maybe it's a passion that you have, then maybe something that you really wanted, and you're not gonna be able to do it later. So this is also to show like everyone competing, hey, it's okay to take a break. It's okay to build your family and then come back. Okay. Of course, the physique changed, everything changed, but slowly you work towards, getting back in the shape and, looking your best again. I feel really, really good with the physique that I brought after babies. And I think this, like you say, inspire a lot of young women, like people that want to have babies and are afraid to do it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, me and Kerry have spoke about this a lot recently, haven't we? About the age that we are at, and I'm sure there's a lot of women out there that are now in the sport already. And like you've just said, Angelica, they're kind of thinking about the future a little bit now and unsure of where to go and what to do. And it's definitely something that's been on my mind. I mean, I don't have a partner, so again, that's another thing. And I think when you're actively competing, it is so demanding for us, not just like with the training and the diet, but like the balance of normal life, like for example, dating and things like that. And so yeah, it's something that I've thought about of, what are the next few years going to look like for me, and not planning a retirement, but I think getting into the headspace of just being aware of the future, because I don't know what your view is on this, but I think it's really easy for the years just to fly by when you're competing, because the year goes by so quick, doesn't it? Like if you're in prep for 6 months, it's like gone half of the year. So have you got any advice for anyone that's listening that maybe is at that sort of age and, you know, just with the mindset of how to kind of handle that, and I suppose planning your years out in advance and not just getting lost in competing year after year? Is there anything that you would say to those women?
Yeah, I would say listen to your heart. Like for me, like I always had, like I'm with my husband for 20 something years since high school. So it was a little easier to balance. But like you say that you don't have a partner, sometimes when you're just competing, you can't really see anything else. So it's really hard to get lost, and time goes, like you said, it goes by really fast because when you prep, it's just you're on their own mode. You wake up, you do your cardio, you prep your meals, you go to the gym, you train, and then you get home, you practice your posing. When you see the day is gone, and then when you see, like you said, 6 months went by, so I think it's possible to have balance. Because I always had a husband, I had to have the balance. Sometimes he always kind of like pushed me to, okay, I need to make time to spend time with him. I still need to go out with him. So I'll bring my food if I need it, but still have balance, still live your life. Don't just be so, don't dive like all the way in just in the competing mode. I know it's tough, like when you amateur, it's maybe a little less, you don't feel so much pressure, but the bikini level now, it's tough. It's or you
Yeah.
all in or you out. You feel that if you don't really dive in, you're not gonna be able to stand out with the pros that are there today. It was a little different before. That's why I'm so happy with the fit model division coming, because I feel there is a division that you can, of course, you work hard, you diet, you train, but it is possible to have a little bit more balance with that division than the way the bikini is going now, because I do understand that there's a lot of pressure. Like me, when I start my prep, it's like, okay, like, the level is all the way up there. Like there's no time to play. But I do have a husband, I do have two daughters, I do have my coaching business, right? Like coaching so many women, I have 30 clients now, it's not too many, but it is, like I need to take the time to like family's priority and then my clients, and then is prepping, me as an athlete. So I would suggest, if you feel in your heart that there's something like a part of your life that is missing because you're competing, balance. And then if you feel that you can't balance like you right now, take a break. The stage always gonna be there, but maybe something in your life that you want to do now, that time gonna pass, and then you look back and like, why I didn't do that before. So the stage always gonna be there, but if you put in the balance, like if you put like side to side and you're like, no, I really love competing, I want to go all the way in, so just dive into it. But my advice was always throughout, my whole journey was like, try to find balance, try to, okay, for me, it was always like, what I need to do to be my best: do my cardio, do my training, have my meals, practice my posing. So if I can do that and then turn it off and live my life, I'm good. So I'll just try to close all the boxes, and then the rest of me would be the normal Angelica. So the Angelica athlete would close all the boxes as soon as possible in the day, and then go out for a walk, and then go meet with my friends, and then go out with my husband. So try to find balance, but I know it's a struggle. If you can't find a balance, choose.
Would you ever say there's been any times throughout of your career where you've lost touch of that balance and had to refine it?
Um, Let me see. No, I would say like it's very like my husband always say that, like a lot of people came to me and him like how do you guys do it? Because it's crazy, like we see you guys always so happy, always kind of like she's competing, but she's happy. You guys are having fun. And he always say like, I don't know how she do it, but she has a lot of balance. She saves the time for me. She saves, like it's just the way. And I don't think I lost that. That's why it was such a successful career and was a long career. And to be able to do it now with two kids, if I didn't have the balance, would be impossible. So if you trying to do like what I did, have babies and then come back, you need to be someone that knows how to balance things, because I know competing is addicting, and it gets like it really gets to your mind, and sometimes that's all you want to see. But force yourself to go out of their way and see other things in life. And I'm can like for sure you'll be a better competitor, because when that's all you see, that's all you want, you kind of like become a little obsessed. And I think, like finding the balance or forcing yourself to have the balance will make you a better competitor.
It will also make you happier, which again adds to the addition of being a better
Yeah,
competitor.
less cortisol, when that's all you think, oh my God, how do I look? Oh my God, oh my God, I'll be in shape or not? The
Yeah.
cortisol levels are high. So if you're closing your box, you're doing what you have to do. And then, okay, turn it off. Go enjoy your life. Go do something that you enjoy. Go make friends. Go date. Go meet someone, go, like meet someone and then get married, in that way. It's possible to make your life while competing. It's not all about competing.
Is that something you would say, well, you've clearly done it. So when you were at like the let's say peak of your career, so winning Olympias, things like that, did you have like other businesses and things like that alongside at the time? Because that's always something that really interests me, hearing from other athletes, whether they had coaching businesses or other things, or whether it was just solely competing. Like, I don't know if it's changed from back then to like now, or
Yeah. Back then, I think we had more sponsors, like I feel that this market, of getting sponsor was more, it was easier, it
Yeah.
was easier back then than it's now, for a few reasons, sadly, But we did like once you start getting a little successful, the sponsors would come after you, But I did like do I was a personal trainer, I have a degree in Brazil for sports science. Like I was already a trainer in Brazil, already a fitness instructor. So when I moved to US and start competing, I already had the background. So when I start competing, I was already a personal trainer. So I kept doing that, like training my clients in the gym all day and then taking some time for my training, for my car, and then going back to my clients until nighttime. And I did that until I found a sponsor. That was after I won the Arnold Classic. So it took me a while, So I got second place in the Olympia, like with no sponsors and working like all day in the gym and just taking like a 2 hours window for my training and then another hour for my cardio, and to practice a little bit my posing. And other than that, I'll be from the morning to nighttime in the gym, like with my clients. So I know how it feels. It's like, but it's good. It's good to be busy, So once I got like my, start getting sponsors, I had to start kind of like slowly, like dropping my clients. But that's something that I really always loved, like to help other women, like to make them feel confident, the way I felt. So I missed that part. So in 2019 was when even with sponsors, even competing, in the top of my career, I'm like, I want to at least do this online so I can, keep helping other women, keep like giving this, giving back, right? Giving my knowledge. Now, as the years go by, you guys know, competing, you're always learning something, you're always improving, you always have more experience to help others, right? So I'm like, if I'm doing this for me, knowledge without sharing is nothing. So I'm like, I need to share like what I'm learning. And that's when I start coaching in 2019. And I'm like, okay, now I'm back to the roots, like, being a trainer, everything that I went to college, to learn, I can put it in action. And but it's hard when you can just focus on competing and nothing else. It's easier, once I start getting sponsors and then also my coaching, growing my coaching and also competing, there was many things that I had to put my focus on, so it does get harder. And like when you don't have sponsors, you go to the gym and you focus just on you. You don't need to focus on representing anything. It's kind of easier, But when your mind is kind of like, okay, so what do I have to do for my sponsors? So my advice, like in the sponsorship, right? Because everyone with your question have something else that they have to do. Maybe it's a regular job and then they need to share the time, right? But if it's a sponsorship, just take sponsorships of things that you really love. Like if you take sponsorship from something just for the money, it's gonna be a struggle. If you're competing and then trying to like, oh, I hate this, but now I need to make time to fake it, Like I'll fake that I love it, I'll fake that I'm using. So it'll be extra time of your day to just try to pretend you're using something. So if you're really using, it's really easy. That's why I always represented my sponsor. I always got sponsorships of things that I tried before that I love this. Okay, I want to represent this brand because this gonna fit in with my lifestyle, So I don't need to make extra time just to represent this because then I'm gonna show as I go by, as my day go by. Yeah, when I'm using my protein powder, I'm gonna make like make a little selfie and show my followers what I really do. It's like the clothes. Like if I'm wearing the clothes, I don't need to fake and like, oh, today I'm gonna wear this clothes because I'll make a video because I need to, but I don't like it. So if you really love, you are wearing every day, so it's easy to represent, like, and that goes for everything. So
It
We can
sounds like
relate
you stayed
so
very,
much.
it sounds like you stayed very like loyal to like all of your values and
Authentic.
that's made you thrive even more because you do see it like a lot. And like I've just been offered a few different sponsorships, and it's like, yeah, I'm like the same as you. I will not take anything unless. And
Yeah,
if it's going without, then
yeah,
fine.
yeah,
I totally agree with you on that one and how important it is to stay like aligned with your values, whether that be like personal sponsor and what you enjoy like with your work away from sponsors and competing as well. So I can see why you had to pick that back up again with coaching.
yeah.
Do
That's
you
true.
think, well, I've got a question. Do you think then, Angelica, obviously, because the sponsorship thing, I think for a lot of athletes who want to make a name for themselves and do this as a career, and it is competitive and it is a struggle for a lot of people. And I think that's why, a lot of us do go into coaching and things like that to help others. Do you think then, I'm going to ask you about the fit model division, because people have been saying that, it's going to bring more kind of sponsors and opportunities for other women in the sport. What is your take on that? Do you think that it's going to, make the sport blow up even more? Is that where you see things going?
I think so, yes. Because I think when bikini just came in, like when we started bikini in 2010, was a division that every magazine wanted to have, girls that look like that to be, in the magazine. Sadly, there's almost no magazines anymore. But the brands always wanted, someone that the other woman could relate to, you know. They don't want someone that's really like extra shape and veiny and too muscular, because then the regular woman is the majority, right? There's most of the women that, in the world, they don't look like that. So they can't relate. And if you can't relate, you're not gonna buy the product, So when bikini came in 2010, it was softer, less muscle, like what will have fit model to be now, and all the brands want it because all the women want to be in shape, but not super in shape, not they don't want to risk other things, like to have muscle, they want to still be feminine, to still be, like beautiful, curvy, things like that. They don't want to have so much muscle. So I think that's what the fit model division gonna bring back, the old bikini look that, honestly, I love.
Yeah.
I was sad to see bikini change, with the years. And I think after 2019 was when it started to really change. When I was on top, I was always trying to keep bikini less muscular, less veiny. Like I was always like, even during my pregnancy, you can see the veins, but I'll always try to hide. I'll always try to come in like when it was getting closer, let's say to the Olympia. If I felt that I was getting a little too lean, I would have refeeds. I always fight that look, So I think
Yeah.
after 2019, it started to go in a way, and then I like 2020, I kind of like followed too. I kind of changed it, my prep, my physique to look more definition, leaner, more density, like. So I think in 2020 for the Arnold, I already brought that, and it was crazy to see the change with just a few things that I did different. But that was the look that bikini was going for. I felt a little pressure to follow that look, even though I always loved the old look. But when you're competing, you want to keep involved with the sport, and every division involves. But now with fit model, I think I think it's gonna bring more business to the sport. It's gonna be better. It's more achievable. It's the regular, like woman can relate, and they can be like, oh, it's not so far away for me to look like that. So it's gonna bring like more competitors. It's gonna bring more competitors. The whole industry, it's gonna be better for the whole industry. So I'm really excited about this division. I think it's gonna be. I think it was all take back bikini, and I know they tried, but it's really hard once you start evolving with the division. It's really hard to take back because then like the most like the pros that are there on top, how to take it back, right? So they keep evolving because they get feedback. Okay, a little bit more density coming, a little better. So once you get there and then they try to bring it back, how, it's really hard. Like once you have built all the muscle, once you have that leanness on you, you're not that soft anymore. It's hard to work it back. So I know I felt that they tried. I think it was in 20 when Jennifer Dory won. Yeah, I think when Jennifer Dory won, I felt that it was a little softer, and then with Marie too, like I felt that, I'm like, yeah. But all the other shows, I felt that they were struggling to find their look. So they did for the Olympia, but all other pro shows kept the same. So I think they kind of like, like the top pros are being able to bring that look, but the other ones, no. So I think it was a good call to create another division because it's hard to go back.
Yeah,
I
for
was going to
sure.
say that I can relate to a lot. We just want to say the same thing. I can relate so much to this, Angelica, because obviously we've talked about like balancing competing with normal life. And for me personally, I've come to a point in my own journey where I actually don't want to get any more muscular, despite the fact that bikini is evolving and you get kind of given the feedback of more density and this and that. And yeah, there's a few other women as well that I've spoke to that compete in figure and not just bikini. And I think if you got anything that you want to share as well with the listeners when it comes to, not getting so lost in competing and just doing something for the stage, but making sure that you are actually happy in the physique that you are going to carry around for the other 364 days of the year, because I think a lot of people don't talk about that. And I know of some athletes that have put on so much muscle to compete, they eventually stop and then they're so unhappy because they've actually put on so much tissue and they struggle to lose the muscle. So, again, have you got any advice for anybody that might be listening that feels that pressure?
Yeah. Well, now I think it's a great time to reevaluate, like what do you love, what do you like about you? Because now you have bikini and now you have fit model. I know for the pros this is still gonna be a struggle because there's not gonna be pro shows. For me, if I wasn't retiring, and if there was fit model this year, maybe I'll jump in fit model and not retire
That was my question. I was going to ask you that. I was going to say to you, if there was, where would your head be at with that?
Yeah, I think that would
Well,
be like a good option for me because my feedback has been okay, a little bit more density since I came back. And bikini has evolved, but to a point that I don't wanna, like, just like you guys said, I don't wanna put all the muscle. I don't wanna do what it takes to
yeah.
put out the muscle. There is other priorities for me, and that's not what I like. I don't like being too muscular. I don't like being too lean, like, and lean to a point that I can see all my veins and, I feel weird. And that bothers me now because it's different. Back then, I would fight in that look because that's how my body wants to look, but I'll always find a way to look more feminine, to look more curvier, to look a little bit more soft, and that's the look I love. So I think, like, if you like, now you can choose. Like, if you like that look, go with bikini. But if you feel that, like, you're struggling, you don't really like, like the way, how much muscle you need to put, how lean you need to be, and then, like, the rest of the year, like some of the pros compete all year round almost, right? Take a little break, a few months to improve, and then back, like, in shape. And so you look that way all year. So it's you every day look at yourself in the mirror, and do you like that? So now you can choose. I think that's one more positive side of the fit model, because if you don't, okay, just stop training for a little while. I know it's hard to lose muscle, but if you're not training every day, and if you allow your body to get a little softer, not as lean as, bikinis right now, when we get a little softer, we already look less muscular. It's crazy, right? Because we are small. I'm small. When I'm on stage, I'm like around 117, and it's not that you're super big, like super bulk. You just get so lean that all the muscles show and you look bigger. So you allow yourself to get a little bit more fat on you, and then you look more softer, curvier, more feminine. And I think, like you're ready for the fit model. So now for that, if you have that in your mind, just choose the right division for you.
I have a question for you. So heading into the Arnolds, um, obviously it sounds to me like the look you preferred was like the one you used to take. However, now obviously you're competing in bikini standards of these days. So what is the look that you're looking to bring to the Arnolds? Is it in
What
line with that?
Yeah, it's like towards what they want, like
Yeah.
what my physique can bring, closer to what the judges want for bikini. I know I probably not the perfect look for bikini anymore, but I want to I'll also be truthful to myself and what I like and what, like what bikini was always about for me, right?
Yeah.
So of course I don't want to be there like, oh, this is my bikini and that's what you. Of course, if you're competing, you want to go with the judge's feedback, and if the judge's feedback was to more density in the glutes, that's what I'm trying to do, like the way I can, right? So I'm not gonna do, oh, I'm gonna go crazy to just bring that density. That's what they want, and then other aspects are, like, become an issue, right? So I'm trying to follow the feedback like the best way I can, right? I'm in the gym, focusing on the feedback, more density in the glutes. I'm training super heavy, but there is one point that I can improve. That's not, So I will try to, of course, bring the look that they want for bikini. If they had fit model for this Arnold, I'll probably be doing fit model because I think that my body would, if I prep, for fit model, I think my body would right now be better for fit model than for bikini probably, but you see me on stage at the Arnold trying the best bikini, nowadays that I can. So hopefully it'll be enough.
Yeah.
Yes, hell
Yeah.
yes. We are
I think
backing you.
I think it's amazing how you've gone through and consistently done well throughout the years. And I think that is like a credit to yourself massively whilst staying true to yourself. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's massive.
Yes. So that for me, like this journey is something that I look back and I'm really proud, like everything that I have achieved was for my hard work, I can tell that nothing was handed to me, like this whole journey, I did it. I chased that dream. I worked hard. I followed the feedback. I made changes. I had great people in my corner to help me, this whole journey and I look back and it's a clean path, it's a very clean path. It's something that I know I did it, like I deserve it like every victory. And when it didn't go my way, and I didn't win, or I learned, so it's something that I'm proud of, the loss, of the victories, of the loss, everything on the way is something that I look back to my journey and I'm like, I would never have done anything different. So, this is something that gives me peace to be able to stop now and I can look back, I can show my, like my daughters, like this is the whole journey, like mom started from the bottom and walked it every way up, like slowly, with hard work, with sweat and,
I
so
think that's
Getting goosebumps when you say it.
really
Like,
inspiring though, because I think it's like it's really nice to see like for me, I think like as an amateur, like I used to win, but then coming into the pro league, you sort of expected that as well. But then looking at people like yourself, like I always have done, seeing that you've won, not won, but you've still carried on, and then you've won, and then like that is what a champion is. And I think
yeah.
you're a credit to the sport for showing just that.
thank you. Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
going to be so emotional when we see you up there for the last time. I might even shed a tear.
Yeah.
I know.
I
I'm
think I'll
wondering if
cry
we're
on
going to see the fit
stage,
model one day.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yesterday I was already emotional. I was holding to make the announcement because, like I was already, in my heart, like, okay, when I'm gonna tell everyone, because I do get emotional. It is like I'm so grateful for this journey. I'm so grateful to the NPC, to the IFBB Pro League. It's something, they changed my life, it changed, this sport changed my life. And it's a beautiful journey. It's something, competing this sport is a big part of me, big part of me. 12 years, I took a break to have babies, but I was still kind of like I felt when I came back that I never left. It was, when you're a mom too, it's like prepping. Time goes like this. And it was like I blinked my eyes and I was back on stage, right? So it is a beautiful journey that I'm so proud of, that I'm so grateful, so grateful. I'll always be part of this. I'll always be a bodybuilder. This is who I am. And it's just like stopping. You're not going to see me on stage anymore, but I'm always going to be around. I'm always going to be involved because, when we love it, it's something that you can't just turn your back to it. Oh, I retired. That's over. No, I love the people that I'm surrounded with, in the sport, in the industry. I feel loved. Like everywhere I go, I feel the good energy, the love. And I love people. So it's something that really fulfills me when I go somewhere and they like, Angelica, and I'm like, oh my God, please hug me. So it would be very emotional to step on stage for the last time. I think, I probably gonna cry on stage. Or I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna be. It's just living that moment. But I'm glad that I let everyone know that it was the last because, in my mind, I'm like, should I just, do the show and then say after? I'm like, no, I want to enjoy this moment. I want to celebrate this career, and take everyone with me because all of you are part of this, like if like the girls that I have inspired, I want to celebrate that moment with them, to be on stage with them, to, like many of the girls that will be competing with me. I had, like the testimony coming to me like, Angelica, I started because of you. And now they on top, they're doing better than me. That's what it's all about. Nobody gonna be on top forever. But if you have inspired someone and to start and then or not to give up, and now they are doing better than you, hey, part of you is there, right? So, that's your legacy. So I never feel bad that, oh my God, I remember that girl saying, you inspired me to start and now she's doing better than me. Like feel bad. No, you should feel really good about it, right? Because then, you put your, like a little part of you is there and it's gonna grow with them. So once they grow, it's like a tree, right? You're right here, but and then it keeps growing. So that's how life is. Nobody gonna be on top forever. So you might as well inspire people and help them grow, right?
I think that's a great mindset to have.
Yeah.
One thing that I've realized, and you guys can probably relate, is that when we start this journey, we started for ourselves and we want to get better. Of course, that's always like the underlying thing. But as you go through the journey and you grow up through the journey, you realize that it's about so much more than just you. Like you said, it's about the wider impact that journey then has on other people. So
Yeah. And I think that people that compete, that keeps with the mindset of the beginning, it was the same for me. I can really relate to what you said. When I started, it was all about me, trying out. Oh my God, what it is? Oh my God, look at my physique. Oh my God, I didn't know I had all these cuts, It's all about you. But and then as you start succeeding and you start living that journey, and then you start seeing like, oh my God, I'm changing someone's life. This girl just came to me, I remember the first one that came to me like, oh, I'm doing this because of you. I'm like, really? I'm like, oh, I start to touch people, right? So that's when it becomes different. And if you go that way with your mindset, then you have success and you'll be happy throughout the journey. But if you keep the mindset of the selfishness, right? Oh, it's about you. Then you start to fall down because nobody gonna be just going up and up and up. So once you go down, you gotta look back to what came with all of this? Like, what's the purpose, right? Yeah. What's the purpose? Just for me, it's just winning titles. titles come and go, you know? And okay, you have that title, like titles like the Arnold and the Olympia, it's titles that, okay, you have that forever. It's amazing, but what you do with those titles? What, like, you know, like it's just a platform for you to be able to reach more people. That's how I felt. Like, okay, now that I have this title, I have more people coming to me. It's my way of, you know, telling them and helping them somehow, you know, and showing them that, yes, you can be the champion, but you also can be achievable. You also can be, you know, you can help others feel that they can't fit in, right? Because at my beginning, I felt that, you know, some girls did not kind of like push me back, like, you don't belong here, you know? And I'm like, I'll never do that to someone that's coming up because they'll be better than me, you know, in a few years. And that's
100%.
what happened. The girls that tried to push me, hey, you don't belong here. Uh, I can't take a picture right now. I'm like, really? So in a few years, I was doing better than them. So what? And then they became my friends, right?
Yeah.
Once you're
Yeah,
there, they want to be your friend. So that's not how it is, you know?
for
So
sure.
that was the mindset I started because I felt that at the beginning, like, why they treating me this way? Right? I'm like, okay. So once you start doing better than them, they come and like, oh, nice. So nice to meet you. I'm like, no, I know you, you know? So that happened. We don't need to say names, but that happened to me, you know?
Did you ever have like people tell you literally like you weren't going to reach your dreams? I think most of us probably have, but do you have any like advice to anyone that has experienced literally people coming up to you saying you're not going to achieve X, Y, and Z?
Yes, yes. Oh, that happened to me.
It
You
did.
know, listen to the voice inside your mind because their voice is there for a reason. Like I had so many people when I was paying for everything, I was paying for all my shows, I was paying for almost everything. I didn't had sponsors. And there was a voice like, but why are you doing this? And not voice, like there was people coming. But you're just spending money. Why are you doing this? Or you always so skinny. Like you don't even look good, but why keep doing this? You already proved that you can. Why you don't focus just on your career, like, you know, of training people and this and that? I'm like, there is a voice inside my mind that say keep going, like keep going, don't stop. So it, you gotta be able to listen to your heart and to that voice, you know, that speaks to you. To just don't listen to the haters or to people that wants to drag you down, because we all gonna have that. If something that you really like, sometimes it's also easy to, is this my dream or I'm just going with the flow, right? Because sometimes I'm like, oh, I start competing, oh, I did well. I'm like, oh, I'm going with the flow. Is that really your dream? I had friends that started with me, they thought it was the dream, and they stop it, you know, like very fast because it wasn't. But for me, I started with them. They started even doing better than me. But I kept going. Like, you know, this is what I really want. I knew. Like, my heart told me, like, this is what you're supposed to do. Like, you found your passion. This is your passion. Yeah. When you feel in your heart. So really, you know, talk to yourself. Don't listen to anyone. Is this what I really love? Is this what I want to be doing? Do I see myself doing this in years, for years, or this is a struggle, but it makes me look good? So I'll go with the flow, right? Because I know a lot of people like that too. They kind of like they say it's their dream, but it's not. They just think they look good doing it, you know?
I think
It's
So
fashion
it's easy
statement.
for people it's easy for people to, like you say, get swept up because of social media as well.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like because it's like you're keeping up an appearance or whatever rather than
You
genuine.
get good comments. That's kind of addicting. Oh, when
Yeah.
I compete, everyone engagement and this and that. Now with social media, back then we didn't have that. It was all about, you know, like the experience. But now you put it on social media and everyone's like, so you're kind of like addicted to that, but not to the journey, not to who you becoming, you know, like chasing that dream. So whatever it is, not just for competing, you know, if you have that dream, talk to yourself. Is this really my dream? or I'm just keep going because that's I'm going with the flow. I was put in this position, now I'm doing this, and I think that's where I should, like go. And then you look up to people like me that achieved the Olympia, the Arnold, and you're like, oh, that's what I want to do. But answer to yourself, do you really love it? Do you really love the journey? Do you really love the everyday hard work? Like if I was competing or not competing, I would still be doing the same work because
Yeah.
this is my lifestyle. Like pregnant, I'll still be waking up eating the same boring food. Like I'm like, why am I eating this? Because this is what I like to eat. So the answer to myself, I'm like, oh, I'm still eating oats, I'm still eating sweet potato, I'm still eating vegetables almost every meal. Like, why? Because this is my lifestyle. I'm still going to the gym. Like before I start competing, I was already there. Now that I'm pregnant, I'm there. After babies, I'm there. I'm like, this is my lifestyle. So it's super easy for me. It is my passion. It is my lifestyle. But if you're struggling and just because you put in your mind that that's your dream and that's the path you need to go, like really reevaluate and talk to yourself like, hey, what else I would be doing right now? If the answer is something else, just go the other direction, because then you're gonna follow something you're never gonna be able to achieve because that's not in your heart. I think like the big champions that get to the top, they really really love, and they know in their heart that that's the dream, that's what they're supposed to be doing, that's the purpose. So listen to yourself and answer that question to yourself, and you'll be able to know exactly what to do.
Essentially, it's really obvious to see like how much of a lifestyle it is for you. Like there's not like a on-off switch, so to speak. It is
Mm,
literally like everything is just part of your life. And that's
yeah.
obviously why you've been able to do so very well, because it's just all kind of molded into one, which
Yes.
is, yeah,
Yes. Well,
you've
I'll
done
retire
a
and
lot.
then you're gonna be seeing me in the gym posting videos. One of my goals is to focus a little bit more on my social media, because that's, like I feel that I have like like a lot of people that really like what I do. So I'll be focusing more on giving more information, more content, things that will help people. So of course competing is like that. You get so, it's about the grind. And even though the lifestyle gonna be the same, I can take like, a day off, right? A day
Yeah,
off to make sure that I'll focus more on my social media. I can go to the gym and focus more on recording my workout and taking a little break to explain, because I can take longer, breaks.
yeah,
It's not about training, just focus to be my best on stage, right? So be the lifestyle, and it'll be easier for me to focus more on my social media. So you see even more now of what I do, what I eat, what I do in the gym, because it will still be my lifestyle, and I'll be able to share more. So I'm excited, for that step, for the
You
for
say you're
the
going to come
challenge.
back to YouTube as well, because I am like such a loyal YouTube subscriber. I remember watching all your old videos when you were competing before you had your babies as well. So please bring back the YouTube.
Yes, that is one of the goals, and of course, I always showed things when I was competing was always a lot of work, because you're competing, you're doing all of that. On top of that, you're doing your YouTube, so it's so much, right? But I
Yeah.
do love, because I think the YouTube is more open. It's more you can really show who you are. I have time to show my family, to show like the struggles of like what you have to how to balance everything. Through social media, it's harder to show, right? Because everything is shorter, and social media wants you to every time shorter and shorter, because they don't want you
yeah,
to do long videos. So they really
yeah.
want you to give just a little bit to your followers. And then I feel that YouTube, you're able to really open up, like to really show who you are, right? So I think it's a great platform, and one of the goals is to go back. So yeah, hopefully, of course, I'm like, I have all these plans, I'm retiring, but well, compete is not all I do. I have family, so I still have to balance everything. But the time that I was putting my energy to compete, I'll be able to put my energy to these projects that I have, and I know like all of you want me to, right?
It's nice to hear that you've got like a something, some lots of things to be fair to jump into after this, and then it's not just like, okay, I'm done, now what? It sounds like you've really thought this through, and yeah, that's really good to hear.
Yeah. I think like like I have built a way, and as when you're competing, you need to be like building what you want to do later, right? So it's that you want to be a coach, you want to like you want, so just start to build that way. This way, when you decide to stop, it's not like now what,
Yeah,
now
sure.
you know so for me, I love being a coach. Of course, I'll be coaching even more because like there's a point that I close my roster. I'm like, okay, no more clients, because how I balance all of this, right? So now I have more time to coach a few more, not so many. I don't want to be the biggest coach, like the one that has more clients.
Yeah.
Keep quality over quantity,
That's it.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I like to have that one-on-one. I really like to know all my clients, deeply, and help them, like in a way that not like just a number. Like, okay,
Agreed.
she's paying, she's a number. No, like as an athlete, as someone that they always needed, guidance. I know exactly what they need. So,
Yeah.
you know, I'm never able to take like so many, but as many as I can handle with quality, right? But
And that's
for me, yeah, for me, it's coaching. I still have sponsors that, like, of course, some sponsors want me to compete, and I totally understand, But many sponsors have told me, hey, your value is not in competing, like even if you're not competing, you still you. We love you the way you are, like who you are, like, just you. So that's not about competing, it's about you. So I know I'll still have some sponsors, and of course, if I'm not competing, I think I can represent them even better, because everything's on social media now. I have more time, right? So there's one of the projects, but there's many things to come. And when you're not so focused on, okay, how I'm gonna look on stage, and like, let me see my progress every day, focusing on getting leaner, getting a little bit more muscle here and there, So when you're just happy with your physique, and everything is just flowing, you can focus a little more on other aspects of life. So I'm really excited for that.
We're excited for you. So excited. Like, this is going to be an amazing chapter. And I mean,
Yeah.
I'm excited to see you back on the Arnold stage first. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
It's
been
gonna be,
really
it's gonna be my seventh time on the Arnold stage, and
Wow.
I chose the Arnold Classic because when I say, like, I didn't want to talk so much in my video yesterday, but there was so much more to say, right? So the Arnold Classic is so special for me because it is the show that didn't let me give up in 2016, right? Because I was going to stop back then. I was going to stop to build my family because I was chasing my pro card, And then I got my pro card, and then the goal was to qualify for the Olympia. And right after I got my pro card, same season, I qualified for the Olympia with 3 shows. First show, I placed 4th at the Tampa Pro, and then my second show, I placed 2nd at the Coastal USA in Georgia. And then I went to Florida the following weekend. I think was the last show to qualify, and I won the Naples Pro and qualified. So it was super fast, and I was just like Kerry, just like you said, I was used to winning because, of course, I was chasing my pro card, but I couldn't do national. So I had that pro level already because I was competing for so long and winning overalls. So in my mind, I'm like, you used to winning, right? But then I okay, qualified for the Olympia, went to the Olympia, second to last, So that was my biggest goal, getting my pro card. And then right after that one, okay, one goal done, next, qualify for the Olympia. The goal changes really fast, right? And then you look up and like, what's the next step? qualify for the Olympia, and then I qualified. And then when you qualify for the Olympia, you want to what? You want to go to the Olympia. You don't want to place second to last after that journey, you know, of winning. But of course, you're winning local shows is different, right? So when I step on the Olympic stage and was on that call out, being the last one to be called, I'm like, oops, that's how it feels, right? So I'm so glad I went through all of that, you know, because it's easy when you're just winning, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's important for you as a champion to know how it feels to be left out, to be there, like the last one to be called. I think I was the, like, you know, I was second to last place. So everyone was called, and then they called me, and then the last one was called. I'm like, wow. I'm like, that's how it feels. It's a little devastating, but kind of like builds you. If you decide to keep going, makes you better, right? So yeah, so that's how you don't give up. So the Olympia was a big learning experience, because my husband always wanted to have babies. He was the one that always, you know, I'm ready for kids. I'm ready for kids. So after the Olympia, because my journey to get my pro card was such a big, intense journey, I was competing. There was one year that I did 11 shows to try to get my pro card. So I was competing every month. It was the whole year, you know. So he was like, okay, now you got your pro card. So now you did the Olympia. So now babies, you know, and he's like, baby, you did everything, you know, you accomplished all your goals, you know, and if you got second to last, maybe it's because that's it, you know. And I sat with him, and I'm like, maybe you're right, like, you know. I thought I had what it takes to be at the Olympia and maybe do better, maybe top 10 in my first Olympia, but well, second to last, this is something that, you know, it's a little devastating. Maybe, you know, I was great as an amateur, but not as a pro, right? And then and then like, okay, so let's have babies. I'm like, yeah, let's start working on it. But you know what? I'll put my invite for the Arnold, because I want to close this chapter knowing that I did the Olympia and I did the Arnold, because I always loved the Arnold, right? Like, you know, was always in my dreams. And I'm like, I'm going to send the invitation, but who am I? Why are they going to invite me, right? So if they invite me, it's because I'm supposed to keep going. But if they don't, it's because we're supposed to stop, have a family, and then the stage always going to be there. I can come back and keep chasing my dreams after, right? But and then I put the invitation. I didn't know back then. I didn't know anything. I didn't know a list was going to come out. I thought I sent the email. There was email. It wasn't, you know, now you do through the website. But before you send an email. And I sent the email, but no answer. I'm like, nobody answered me. So I think it's a no, right? So I went into off season. I started eating, and okay, to get pregnant, I need to put some fat on me, right? So me and my husband started like living the lifestyle and enjoying and going out. And then everyone started messaging me by the Sunday, like, congratulations, you got invited. I'm like, but I'm off season, focusing on building a family now, you know? And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like, baby, there's one thing, I got invited for the Arnold. What should I do? I know you really want to, you know, to have family, and we're focusing on that. Like right now, he's like, baby, it's the Arnold. You need to do it. I'm like, okay, that's what I feel in my heart. So thank you for supporting that. And after the Arnold was when I placed fourth and kind of like broke that top 5 that was so tough to break, you know, back then in 2015, 2016. So it was the first show that gave me, you know, like, that gave me the exposure, right? That gave me, oh, who is this, right? So after that, I felt that my journey, it was the turning point for me was the Arnold Classic in 2016. That was the show for me that turned everything. And then it was the big show, first big show that I won. I won the Arnold before winning the Olympia. I got second place at the Olympia, and then I won the Arnold. And that set me for success at the Olympia. And then I won the Olympia in 2017. So the Arnold was my first, you know. It was the first show that gave me the exposure that made me believe, like, oh, hold on, I can do this. The dream is alive. Like, if I place fourth here now in my first Arnold, I can do this. I can be on top of the top one day. So it was the show that made me believe. And it was the show that I chose for my comeback because it's so special for me. And now it's the show that I chose for my last dance.
Yeah. This is very inspirational for me to hear your story about um, coming last place at the Olympia to then winning the Olympia. And I'm sure there's going to be so other many pros that watch this who are going to be able to, like, they've maybe been to the Olympia and done what you've done, and the hope is still there. You've given people hope still, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's why when I step on the Olympia now, like after having babies and I didn't get that top five call out, right? So different for me, right? Like I'm used to that. Of course, I got the last call out, but and then I won, and then I was always on that mix. And then for this one not being there, it was just a reminder for me and looking at everyone around me, it made me kind of like if you get that top five, sometimes you're like, oh, I want to be better than I want to get to the third place. Oh no, it looks like I'm in fourth. When you're out of the top five, it kind of like makes you look. And when I turn, during comparison, I turn around and I was a little upset. I'm like, oh, I didn't make top five. But well, I was there, like top 10. And then I look around, I'm like, look at all these pros, like they amazing. They will be here one day, but look, all they wanted for this one is to be here where I am, you know? So
Yeah.
so that's what I wanted them to know, like, hey, you have so much potential. You just need to keep going if you really love it. So that's what happened to me in 2015, and I did keep going, and if I had stopped, I'll never, this whole journey will never exist, right? So if you feel like if you're there, if you left out, and if you got less call out, hey, your time is still gonna come. If it's
Yeah.
really supposed to be, if it's really in your heart, and if you know that, like I knew, keep going, you're gonna get there. So I'm glad that my journey, can inspire like more and more people to believe and to keep going.
Honestly,
I'm leaving this conversation feeling so inspired again already.
So you might not think about that retirement.
Wow.
I just feel like you've almost made things feel like they make sense to me. Like I already knew I was on the right path, and I feel like I am on the right path.
Yeah, I think it's
Like my own
important
journey of enjoyment.
when you decide to retire, you need to be in a mindset that you're really sure about it and really happy about things that you have accomplished. And Marnie, maybe it's too soon for you, baby.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't want to
Is
pressure you, but maybe you have more to give and to do, with the industry. You
I
feel
just
in your
Angelica, before we wrap this up, then, because it's been fascinating listening to yourself and your whole journey. And look, it looks like it even impacted Marnie and potentially maybe not retiring. And Kerry's got total vision,
I don't
exactly
want to
know
put
where
that
she
pressure on
needs to
you,
go.
Marnie. I'm just kidding.
Um,
Do
look,
what's in your heart.
I want to finish off on this. So you've been in the industry for so long, and bodybuilding continues to evolve. It's never been in a better place, especially with the introduction of the fit model division, which is going to give more people the opportunity to step on stage. And really, in the end, I know people have been 50-50 by the division, but anything that's going to make people make healthier choices is only a good thing. So
Yes.
I want to ask you this. Bodybuilding is in a great place, but if I gave you a magic lamp, a genie came out and granted you three wishes that you can make to make bodybuilding even better, what three wishes would they be?
Mm, wow, you put me in a
that's
position.
on the spot.
That's why I give you three wishes, not one. I give you three.
Three. Wow.
That's
If you gave me
harder.
one, it would be easier, right? I don't know. Maybe.
I tell you what we'll do. I'll give you one wish, Angelica. I'll give one wish to Marnie and one wish to Kerry.
Oh.
There
Okay,
we go. We'll spread it
you've roped us
out.
in. Um,
I know.
Go
I've
on,
got
Marnie, you
one.
start it off.
I have a feeling we're going to be similar, but go.
More
It's the
prize
same.
money.
Huh?
More prize money for women, more prize money for the female competitors, which I do feel like we are seeing a shift because I know that there was an announcement from Tyler about the Pittsburgh Pro Prize Fund for bikini going really high for this year, which is so positive for our division. But I think across the board, especially in Europe and things like that, that would be my wish, would be just more opportunities for us women in terms of, yeah, money and things like that, because we do dedicate so much time, and obviously bikini's an art form in itself, and I think it would be nice to have a little bit more recognition for us with that. So that would be mine. Yeah.
Yeah. I think mine is kind of like connected to that. I think the higher ups in the industry could help a little more the athletes to get more sponsorships, because they have the contact, right? They have the contact, they have, so they could maybe, like talk to the companies and kind of like, would you be able to sponsor the champion here, right? Like, okay, the champion who wins this show will get a sponsorship with the supplement company, because right now it's really hard. And when you try to chase for sponsorships yourself, you feel like a fish in the ocean, right? You're like, what should I do? How should I apply? How should I contact, right? So I think if the higher ups, that would be one wish. Like, I think would make things better if they could do that, like talk to the big companies, because they have the outlet, they have, the contact, and like, would you be able to sponsor the champion? This is a really important show, something like that. I think would help the industry.
Kerry, you got a final
I
wish?
think, yeah, I think my wish would be just to make it a little bit more, we've spoke about this, like more inclusive across the UK and Europe, having like the judges come over for like events, allowing like us to like boost our profiles and like be proud of the achievements we have and get to speak to like like our fans and things like that, for them to meet a lot of pros at one time, because that's something that like I would like go to see pros. So I just know that that's something that would really help the industry and inspire others, because they're only going to hear like our journeys and stuff. So I wish that would happen across the UK, like big events here and there that we all want to go to and be at, because there's like a one time a year event or something like that.
Yeah.
I
And
knew you
what's
would say
your
that.
wish, Suki?
Sorry?
Yes.
Let's
What's
do the
yours?
fourth wish. What's your wish? I'm gonna put it
To,
in there.
to be fair, I was going to say the exact same thing as Kerry, because we've spoke about this before, because I always felt that in America, it feels like more celebrity status compared to UK, more opportunities for the
Yeah.
grassroots level to engage with the pro level. If I had to take that away, oh God, we'll go for prize money and social media sponsorship and
Yeah,
events.
yeah.
I think I think for myself is probably more for it to be more inclusive for media outlets. So there's like our channel, there's other channels as well that want to do more coverage across more shows, but it is a bit more difficult in regards to getting the accreditation and the access, because we're all doing it as a side project. It's something,
Yeah.
it's a passion project, just like for you girls, it's a passion in doing what you're doing. For myself, yes, I've competed before, and yes, I've promoted shows, but for me right now, for me to stay in this industry that I love, I want to report on it and build profiles, make it more
Yeah.
glamorous in the UK. And
Yeah.
it'll be great if that, the high, as you said, Angelica, people at a high level made it more inclusive, similar to like boxing, UFC, where they do get other media outlets involved, because in the end, they're still bringing more eyeballs into the sport, and they're
Yeah.
all
Mhm.
doing it because they love the sport. So
Yeah.
yeah, that would be my one.
Okay, good one.
Four wishes.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Angelica, been absolutely fascinating hearing from you, and I can't wait to see what you do next. I've still got my fingers crossed that maybe you make a comeback in the fifth bottle division in 2026. Um,
Yeah.
No, no,
No.
no. It's a bye, guys.
I was hoping you
No,
might give me a little
no.
clip there to use as
Yeah,
a,
if it was this year, maybe I would wait a little longer,
Yeah.
but time for me to focus on other areas a little more. And
100%.
no, you're not gonna see me. You're gonna see a lot of me with my clients, shine on the fit model division for sure.
Good.
And opposing clients and prep clients, I'm really happy about it, but not me, as an athlete on stage. That page is turned and it's
On
not
to the next
coming.
chapter.
Yeah. I knew once I said it's the last one, it's not, like I'll never put my mind to go back again. So yeah, that's it.
Stay true to
Angelica,
values.
best of luck for the Arnolds, and hopefully, maybe we can grab you again after the Arnolds to talk about
Okay.
the reflective show.
That would be
Okay, let's
great.
do it.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
I'll have more time.
Amazing. Yeah. More than 3 hours.
Yeah. Well, it's been a while, just a time trying to connect, but I'm so glad we're able to connect, and this was such a fun, easy conversation with you girls that I love. I'm proud of you guys. You all know this. So
Yeah, we love you. We love you.
yeah,
Thank you so
love
much.
you
You
guys,
are
and I'll
officially
be
our first guest.
I'll step back to watch your success. So please,
Oh,
keep going, shine, and if it's really in your heart, you both and everyone listening, keep chasing the dream. Okay,
Thank you,
shine
Angelica.
for me, shine for me.
Yes.
Thank you.